All right, let's talk about something that's on a lot of people's minds, but, almost never talked about out loud. It's a topic that's just loaded with shame and, frankly, a ton of misinformation, which causes so much unnecessary stress. So, in this explainer, we're going to push all that aside and just look at the cold, hard medical science behind it all. And this is the big one, right? This is the question that probably started as a rumor in the schoolyard and just kind of stuck around. Does this act actually drain your energy and hurt your body? We're going to get to the bottom of that using actual scientific facts. So first things first, we've got to separate the myths from the reality. It's time to swap out that old school shame for some straight up scientific truth.
I bet some of these sound familiar, don't they? Your body will dry up, your memory will get weak, you'll get dark circles, your bones will get brittle. The list goes on. These are the classic spooky stories designed to make you afraid. But what does the science have to say about them? Let's just start with a simple clinical definition. Scientifically speaking, masturbation is just self-stimulation. That's it. It's a totally natural biological thing that humans do, both men and women. It's not some kind of disease or flaw. It's just a normal part of human sexuality. And how natural are we talking? Well, studies from all over the world show that more than 90% of men and 70% of women do it at some point. Now think about that. If something is that common, can it really be as dangerous as the myths claim? Science says, no way.
Okay, so if it's not hurting you, what is actually going on inside your body when it happens? Let's dive into the biology. Far from causing any damage, the process actually kicks off this really positive chain reaction in your brain. First, you get a rush of dopamine. That's the feel-good hormone. That's followed by endorphins and oxytocin, which are basically your body's natural stress busters. This whole cocktail of chemicals helps you relax, it can reduce anxiety, and even help you sleep better. That really doesn't sound like weakness, does it? But wait, you might be thinking, I feel tired afterward. And yeah, that's completely normal. The best way to think about it is like a workout. You go to the gym, you exert yourself, and you feel a little tired. It's the same principle. It's a physical activity that uses energy. But it's temporary fatigue, not permanent weakness. Your body bounces back pretty quick. Okay, now for another huge myth. This one about semen. You've probably heard that old tale that 1 drop of semen is equal to like 40 drops of blood. From a medical standpoint, that's just completely wrong. Semen is just a fluid your glands produce. It's got stuff like protein and fructose in it to give sperm energy, and your body is constantly making more. Think of it as a renewable resource, not some vital life force that you're losing forever. Now, of course, with pretty much anything in life, there's a balance. There's a right way and a wrong way to go about it. The act itself isn't the problem, but when it becomes compulsive or when the technique is off, that's when issues can pop up. So let's talk about moderation and doing it right. And here's the really important distinction to make. Masturbation crosses the line into a problem when it becomes what doctors call compulsive sexual behavior. Basically, if it starts getting in the way of your job, your studies, your friendships, your relationships, if you feel like you just can't stop even when you want to, that's a sign of addiction. And that's the point where it's a good idea to talk to a professional. So what's considered normal? Well, everyone is different. But generally speaking, a frequency of about 2 to 3 times a week is considered totally normal and safe by medical experts. The real issue isn't the act itself. It's an unhealthy obsession with it. How you do it also really matters. If you're always rushing, using super aggressive force, or not using any lubrication, you can actually cause skin irritation or even tiny injuries. The goal here should be relaxed pleasure, not a mad dash to the finish line. For guys, for example, focusing on naturally sensitive spots like the frenulum with gentle rhythmic motion is way healthier and more effective than just using brute force. In fact, that aggressive technique can lead to a real medical issue called death grip syndrome. It's what happens when you get so used to using intense force on your own that it becomes hard to feel pleasure with a partner, simply because their touch can't match that same level of pressure. It's a pretty clear reason why being gentle is better in the long run, for you and for your future intimacy with someone else. All right, now for the plot twist, the part you might not have seen coming. Not only is masturbation not harmful when it's done right, but the science actually shows it has some pretty amazing health benefits. Yep, you are reading that number correctly. A huge long-term study from Harvard University found a direct link between how often men ejaculate and their risk of prostate cancer. Guys who ejaculated 21 or more times a month had their risk drop by 1/3. That is a massive, science-backed health benefit. And that's not all. Remember that brain chemistry we talked about? It's a proven stress reducer, a sleep promoter, and a mood booster. And for women, it can also help relieve period cramps and even strengthen those important pelvic floor muscles. Really, it's a way to get to know and understand your own body. And that's a good thing for everybody. So, we've gone through the myths, we've looked at the science, the limits, and even the benefits. What's the one big takeaway from all this? Let's just do a final rapid-fire round of myth-busting. Does it make you go blind or lose your hair? Nope, that's all about genetics and nutrition. Does it change the size or shape of your penis? Absolutely not. Again, genetics. Does it make you infertile? No. Remember, your body is a non-stop sperm factory. All of these are just old rumors with zero scientific backing.
And I think this quote just says it all perfectly. The whole point is to move away from fear and shame and toward understanding and respect for your own body. Knowing how your body actually works is the first and most important step toward treating it well.
So, the bottom line is pretty simple. When it comes to your health, physical or mental, you have to trust credible, scientific information, not playground rumors. Your body is a pretty amazing and natural thing. Don't you think it's time we all started treating it with the fact-based respect it actually deserves?